Good evening and welcome to the Nevis Newscast. Today is Thursday, September 15th, 2016. I'm Fredicia Liburd. The Governor-General of St. Kitts and Nevis, His Excellency Sir Tapley Seaton QC, yesterday, Wednesday, September 14th, hosted a lecture for the students of the Gingerland and Charlestown Secondary Schools and the Nevis Sixth Form College.
So I invite you, even at this stage, there are opportunities for national service. Please take advantage of them. There are opportunities for working community groups. Take advantage of them. All because this is our island, this is our federation. We must build it. We must look to others to build it. We must show the national pride. So at this time, as we celebrate our 33rd anniversary, I wish you well, happy independence. And I'm very happy to have been here. And I look forward to coming at any point in time again to interact with you.
Also present at the lecture was Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis, the Honorable Dr. Timothy Harris.
As the future generation, I want to call upon you to think carefully about your values, your aspirations and character, and how you can bring the special qualities that each of you have to make our nation proud of you, and you, of course, to contribute in a significant way to our nation. And so what I will say to you is to value the education that you are being given. Craft a future built on the principles of honor, of respect, and dignity. Of course, creativity and industry are crucial too for nation building.
Premier of Nevis and Senior Minister in the federal government, the Honorable Vance Amory, encouraged the students to choose their career paths wisely.
You have a duty and a responsibility to seize every opportunity to educate and train yourselves to propel this our beloved country into the future with an acceptable level of economic and financial and social performances. You'll have to look to making the correct choices for your lives. What career paths do you wish to follow? What subject choices will you have to make to accomplish your chosen career paths? Will your choice be beneficial to you and your country, to the region, and to the whole of humanity?
The lecture took place at the Nevis Performing Arts Center. The Governor-General also made visits to the Charlestown and Joycelyn Liburd primary schools on Monday when he distributed books on the operations of the Governor-General and the Government House in St. Kitts. Meantime, the following notice comes from the Premier's Ministry. The public is invited to the ceremonial parade to commemorate the 33rd anniversary of independence of the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. The parade in Nevis will be held at the El Camido T. Willett Park at 8 a.m. on Monday, September 19th, 2016. In more local news,
it is my pleasure as the widow of the late Sir Simeon Daniel, whose name bears the scholarships, to present the certificates and awards. Always remember that Sir Simeon was a passionate educator and in his own right would have reminded you in his own words, and these were always his words: what man has done, man can do.
Sheila Daniel, widow of the late Right Excellent Sir Simeon Daniel, speaking at the 2016 official ceremony of the Bank of Nevis Limited, the Right Excellent Sir Simeon Daniel Scholarship Fund. Janice Daniel Hodge, chairperson of the board of directors at the Bank of Nevis and daughter of the late Sir Daniel, presented the three scholarship recipients, Jaden Liburd, Brianna Chapman, and Julissa Griffin, with books about the national hero.
Each year, I take much pleasure in presenting a copy of this book to the recipients of the award. It is something that my father did when he was alive, and while you may not read it right now, you can see it. And the intention is that when you look at it, it reminds you of the fact that the Bank of Nevis, being inspired by the Right Excellent Sir Simeon Daniel, saw it fitting to reward you for your hard work in being recipients of the scholarship.
The students received their scholarships in the presence of family members and well-wishers. Present scholarship holders also attended the ceremony, which took place on Monday, September 12th at the Bank of Nevis's conference room. The Right Excellency Sir Dr. Simeon Daniel was named a National Hero of St. Kitts and Nevis in 2013. The scholarship presentation ceremony comes ahead of tomorrow's celebration of National Heroes Day. The Nevis Island Administration, through the Ministry of Finance, will be hosting its 10th annual consultation on the economy under the theme, A Revitalization of Skills Development and Entrepreneurship. A press release from the Ministry of Finance says the changing landscape of the global economy provides a significant opportunity for countries such as St. Kitts and Nevis to capitalize on the expected transformation of industry, commerce, and the social construct. Capitalizing on these opportunities will mean a paradigm shift in the way business is being conducted. In such an environment, skills training, retooling, and lifelong learning will be the new norm in propelling individuals, businesses, and countries forward. Moreover, it can be an impetus for small businesses and entrepreneurs to develop and thrive. This year's consultation is expected to provide the opportunity for discussions on these topics and more. The dialogue between the private sector, civil society, and the public sector is ultimately aimed at advancing the socio-economic conditions of the island. The feature address will be done by the Honorable Premier and Minister of Finance, Vance Amory. The 10th annual consultation on the economy will take place from 9:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. on Thursday, September 22nd, 2016, at the Nevis Performing Arts Center. Still to come,
I look forward to having more training like this in the future.
The details after this break.
As a responsible taxpayer, you help to finance free healthcare at all health centers on Nevis. Thank you for putting country above self. This message was brought to you by the Inland Revenue Department, Nevis. Be a responsible citizen.
Welcome back. Linesmen from the Nevis Electricity Company Limited, NEVLEC, who are currently involved in training in transmission and distribution, say they would welcome similar training opportunities. 20 linesmen are participating in the training which has taken place over the last 2 weeks, facilitated by Curtis Brewster, technical trainer for the Barbados Light and Power Company Limited.
We've learned a lot since Curtis came. He's a very good instructor to me personally. We've learned a lot about what we should do and what we shouldn't do. A lot about different types of wiring and primary connections and secondary connections. I look forward to having more training like this in the future.
We and like transformers and so in terms of different ways, in terms of winding transformers, in terms of star and delta, the system in terms of, wind them and so on. Now we have the rescue operation in terms of whether this demonstrate in terms of how to rescue if somebody take ill or whatever, in terms of how to go about it. So this is it for now on, it's okay so far. And Mr. Curtis, he being, very good with us and everything.
The 1 week training emphasizes maintaining good quality service, but more importantly, maintaining safety. Including the practical aspect are transformer connections, as well as simulations of emergency situations.
The guys here, I can see, are hardworking. They know a lot about the system that they are working on, but the theoretical knowledge that would incorporate other systems, they don't know a whole lot about, which is what I'm here to do. So they're going to be more versatile when the training is completed and if we go right to the end, because they'll know what they're doing here really well, and then they'll know what other systems do. You guys here are very receptive to me as a trainer and the knowledge that I'm delivering. Even though some of it is different to what they're accustomed to, that's not a problem. They're embracing it readily. We've done a lot of connections this morning that aren't used at NEVLEC, and they've learned it pretty good in the short time that we've been dealing with, because just since yesterday that we did the theory and they came here and did the practical this morning, but they've adapted to it well. They have a good group of people working here. There's a good mix of fellows with experience and some young people too. So it means that for the future, and they'll have some continuity, because this is an industry that the people are getting old and we don't have a whole lot of young people coming into the industry. NEVLEC has young people in the industry, as you can see from some of these guys here. So it means that they're going to have some continuity going forward. And I hope that they can encourage some younger people to join the workforce to make sure that they have a good crop of young people for the next 20 or so years.
According to the Public Utilities Minister, the Honorable Alexis Jeffers, training will not stop with the linesmen, but all areas of the company would receive the necessary training in an effort to make NEVLEC an entity of which all would continue to be proud. The Navy's Historical and Conservation Society, NHCS, is still accepting registration of volunteers to participate in the 2016 International Coastal Cleanup. This year's volunteer operation, according to Executive Director Nicole Liebert, will take place on September 24th.
Groups can contact us here at the Hamilton House Museum. Our contact phone number is 469-5786. We would prefer you to register in advance. We'll give you gloves, bags, as well as your record sheets, and then you will just report to your chosen location. The reason we would like persons to register in advance is because we do a small picnic at the end at Coconut Grove. So it's a good idea to know how many people we're going to be catering for. And what we say is that it's a volunteer effort. We don't have any money to pay persons. We're excited for persons who would come out. So this is just a small way to say thank you. If you don't have a group and you're an individual and maybe want to team up with someone or just go to a site to help clean up, you're more than welcome to. So you can contact myself or any member of staff here at the NHCS, and we look forward to having you on board.
While Ocean Conservancy introduced the International Coastal Cleanup some 31 years ago, the NHCS has been coordinating the effort here on Nevis for the last 24 years.
Each year we will call together our volunteers and different corporate entities who would provide donations. And this year we're doing it on September 24th from about 7 a.m. to noon, where we will be cleaning up various locations around the island. Volunteers will be removing debris from our shorelines, borders, verges, and other popular locations. It's like a one-day major effort that we would like to focus on the coast and why we want to clean up the coast. And it's not just about collecting the debris or trash. We also record it. So for each site, a team leader would have a record sheet where we record every single item that's taken up where possible, because sometimes you have some small plastics and things degrading that it's not easy to identify, and that information is sent back to Ocean Conservancy, where we get a broad picture of what the trash in the seas look like internationally.
Liebert also gave some perspective to the exercise.
Last year, we only have the overall, where we would have collected at least 3,300 tons. These are items regularly going into our seas and our waterways. And if you consider Nevis, everything leads back to our seas. We're here in the heart of Charlestown. We talk so much about our beautiful sea, our welcoming coastlines and so on. How do we sustain that? How do we maintain that?
More than 18 million pounds of trash was collected by nearly 800,000 volunteers during the 2015 International Coastal Cleanup. That's it for this edition of the Nevis Newscast. On behalf of all of us here at the Department of Information, I'm Felicia Liebert. Thank you for viewing.